Mr. Ali, if you believe that, why don't you leave the country?
Well, I like to say one thing. He was right. I could be a millionaire fugitive if I was greedy and worrying about myself. But one thing...
No, you could give it away.
No, one thing I like to say...
I mean, you could become a Canadian and fight and send the money to Elijah.
Well, no. No, this is not my purpose, and he don't need my pennies.
Well, but some people do.
So I would like to say this, that the flesh and the blood of my people and their freedom is more important. Now, one thing I like to say real quick when you say you're going to ask some questions. When the whites first came to America from England, they didn't have the air conditions, the Buckley show, and the jet planes. They had to ride stagecoaches, watch Indians scab and kill their wives, no medicine, no penicillin. But nevertheless, the first whites kept coming. They cut down the trees, the underbrush, until they made a way for you. Then they went and got them some slaves and worked them 400 years to build a country. But they died, but they never saw this, but they made a way for you. In World War II, the Japanese, his life didn't mean nothing, some of them. They had planes called suicide missions. He knew he would die. He ran the plane directly into the ship for his people in the future, for his children. Now, but black people, we've been taught that we will never be free until some will have to die, some will have to give up wealth, their loved ones, and their health. So what I'm doing is for myself and for justice for black people. Running will kill it all. It'll make me a coward.
I see what you mean, yeah.
You understand?
I see what you mean,
So I would rather go to jail.
Sure. Mr. Greenfield.
I've heard you speak before about what you're doing now and how you enjoy it. But I just wonder, being quite honest with us, are there times when you miss being heavyweight champ of the world?
No, they miss me.
I know that.
No, I don't miss it. I'm not missing it. See, I would like to say one thing. Whites have been, you may say, why is he always talking about whites and blacks? Because everything happened to me is racial. It's all based on race and religion. You understand? Many boys I know, Joe Namath, George Hamilton, get out of the army and do everything, and I'm the scapegoat. You understand? So I got to think like this, because I'm a victim of all this.
You know there are white kids in jail for 5 years.
Right.
In fact, those Baltimore guys didn't get 2 years. They got 6, which is more
I
than
heard
you.
they got 2.5.
No.
You're talking about the priest?
Berrigan got
well,
6.
it must have been Wisconsin.
No.
But what I would like to say is this. Your question was...
Do you miss it sometimes? You miss being the best fighter in the world?
No, I am the best. I don't miss being the best.
But you'll never be able to prove that again.
Oh, I don't have to prove it. Can you name somebody that
Not
can
right
as much
now.
as hit me? No. So I'm not... See, you've been brainwashed to think that I'm not the champ.
Nope. I just wonder if you missed what you were doing.
I missed the money, not boxing.
This Williams.
I've been truthful. I can box tomorrow. I can go to the gymnasium, call my sparring partners, we can box all day, but I won't get no money for it. Understand?
Mr. Ali, you've said that you're against war. I wonder how you feel about the Black Panthers' domestic war here.
Well, we black people as a whole are at war, I would say, with the white power structure. Not physically, but we have different approaches to win the battle. Like, for an example, America's in Vietnam. One American is fighting from the air. The other American is fighting on the land. Another one is on the shore shooting them with the ships. Another one is a secret spy. Another one's in a submarine. They all are fighting the same common enemies. They say the Viet Cong, but they have different approaches. See, black people all are fighting you all for freedom, justice, and equality. One believes that intermarriage is going to solve it. And 200 years from now, we all will be a beautiful cream color. He really believes it. One believes that getting them some rifles and shooting up the country is going to solve it. Another one believes that education, one day we'll be the president. One believes that we got to get into the white man's pockets and get all the money. You've got hundreds of billions of dollars that he'll never see I'll get to, but he believes that one day he's going to get most of the money. But we believe that the problem, the answer is separation and marrying our own kind, cleaning up for self, doing for self, and getting some land and building our own nation. Yes. So the Black Panthers are a group who figure that they are right and doing the thing the way they see it. But we don't all agree with each other, but we're not here to talk about it. But I will say, on violence, Elijah Muhammad teaches us it's impossible to be violent against the most powerful military country on the planet. It's impossible.
Mr. Gaynor.
Mr. Ali, if you feel that the white man is your common enemy, do you foresee eventual physical conflicts between your movement and the white community?
No, sir. I would like to say that when you say my movement, when you say not my movement.
Well, the movement of
right,
Elijah
see,
Muhammad.
You got to watch all this because you'll have me think it's my movement. It's not my movement. See. That's what they did Malcolm X, and he wouldn't straighten that out.
Yeah.
He would talk like it's his movement. It's not our movement. It's not like it's
Yeah.
God's
Do you
movement.
think
We
there'll be
believe.
an
It's
eventual
God's
conflict?
movement. Not Elijah Muhammad's teaching
Yeah.
it to us.
Yeah.
Not with Muslims unless you attack us. See,
Uh-huh.
after each meeting, we say that we don't believe in being the aggressor, but fight like hell against those who fight against you, but not be the aggressor, which is nothing's wrong with that. But I like to say that Muslims are never in violence with white people. It's the black man who loved you. See, when you don't let him in your toilet, you don't let him in your restroom, you don't let him marry your daughter, you got to fight. So we're not going to be bothering you, you understand? Muslims don't come in, we don't have no trouble with you. It's just the integrator.
Do you allow white men in your meetings?
No, sir, not in religious meetings, no, sir. It's a family problem and discussion, and you would feel out of place. You know, I'm sure you all have many meetings we can't go to.
Few.
Few, a whole lot of them.
I can't think of any. As a matter of fact, I can't think of any, but Mr. Euler? No, I can't, I really can't.
You can't think of no
No.
meetings that white folks have
No.
that black folks can go
No, I
to?
can't. Can you?
You should be,
What?
you should be ashamed of yourself. Klan.
Oh, fair.
I'm
How
sure it's a
could they
whole.
tell?
I'm sure it's a whole lot of them. A lot of
Mr. Euler.
churches.
Mr. Lee, from your conversation with Mr. Buckley, I have assumed that if given a chance and your appeal is won in the Supreme Court, you would return to the ring. Now, wouldn't this conflict with your being an ordained minister of Islam and then therefore pacifistic?
You can look at it that way, sir. I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm asked this question a million times in colleges. I'm in about $485,000 worth of debt now, which the court said I don't have to pay until I can earn it. And I want to pay my debt and get right out of the ring. But I would like to say boxing cannot be compared with war. We have gloves on, we have cushions, we have referees, we have judges, we have ambulances there. The intention is not to kill. We don't have steel, we don't have bullets, we don't kill mama, kill daddy, kill baby. The intention is a sport, and we're not there to kill. So boxing cannot be compared in no way with machine guns and bombs and everything that they use.
Yeah, I think
in
that's
war.
fair enough. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
just in closing, Mr. Lee, do you feel that you will be able to repay this this money that you owe? By
If I'm allowed to
You only have 5
pursue
seconds,
my
unfortunately.
profession again, yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
talking to you very much.
I enjoyed talking to you.
And thank you all.